Is my heart still pumping?
What's up? What's up? What's up? But let us know who you are. Introduce yourself.
My name is Keith Anthony. I'm a Christian artist, producer, engineer, all that.
And where can they find you? Social media's platforms.
You can find me at Real Keith Anthony on basically all platforms. I think, yeah, pretty much.
So I'm speaking to the real Keith Anthony right now.
Yeah, I'm looking rough. So yeah, you speaking to the real one.
Nah, fuck with it though, cause actually, what I was thinking when I was coming over here, where's like, do you remember when we met? Like, I can't think of like the
Truthfully, I
first
think
event.
you were at Geek Easy,
Geekies.
and when I seen you at Geek Easy, I started seeing you more in school. The first time we ever like had a conversation though, you were talking to Zoe.
Yeah.
And I just seen you and then I came, sat down, and we started
Oh, I
talking
think I
about
remember
yeah,
that. Okay, we was at the table.
yeah, we was at the table
Yeah.
outside.
Somebody else that came over there too, and we just started like
Yeah, we
chatting.
was just chatting. Yeah.
Nah,
That
that's
was
dope though. I really enjoy seeing you around the scene, like the growth. You've actually done a lot of things around For Sale, the talent show, Hall of Fame, some open mics. Is there anything that else that I'm missing for real that you checked
Nah,
off the
I mean,
list?
I don't know. I'm trying to check off a couple more. Like, I want to start a band from Full Sail. So if I
Okay.
could do that, that's gonna be lit. But we're gonna keep that in the vault. We're gonna see what's up.
And what was like your favorite moment, like so far?
My favorite moment was when Leslie and Tremaine was listening to Beautiful Morning, and they was trying to give feedback, and they was like, "Yeah, I got nothing." Like they had them singing along. It was cool.
I actually got that on camera, so I'm gonna make sure I put that
Oh
on
yeah, that's dope.
there for
Yeah, that's
sure.
dope.
Okay, so do you have like a favorite song that you recorded right now, or one that you're making? Like,
One that I'm making. Uh, as of right now, it's Overthinking 2.
okay,
But runner up for that is a song called He Could Do It by me and my boy from Virginia, Deem right now.
yeah. Shout out to the DMV. I also
Yeah.
love that you're from the DMV
Oh
as
yeah,
well. So,
for
what's
sure.
it like from the DMV switch to Florida?
It's different. I mean, y'all be seeing me. I still rock hoodies and long like pants. I'm not used to this Florida weather.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool. I guess. I don't know. I miss Virginia, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If I could go back for a little bit, I would.
So, considering like what the scenes are like, were you around the music scene when you were back home, opposed to like being over here, or are you more on the scene over here?
Uh, that's a little hard because back home, I mean, I had some motion. I'm not gonna say a lot, but me and my boy, we were on 93.9. I mean, we talked to Lil Bacon Bear. You know, like we had good motion. It was cool. Like we were doing shows. I actually had a band in Virginia, so it was cool. Like yeah, I would go travel. You know, I would go to like Maryland and all that with them and just play. But
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. Out here though, it's cool. Like just from everybody giving love and the song blowing up, it's dope.
Yeah, the support over here is definitely like unreal. Like I
Yeah,
enjoy just
it's way
like
different.
watching everybody grow, just being inspired by everyone truthfully. So tell me what it's like being a Christian artist. Like were you always a Christian artist or is this like a newer journey for you?
No, I wasn't always a Christian artist. I could say that first. Like first and foremost, I was not always a Christian artist. But nah, I got saved in June. So June 5th is when I got baptized of last year. And man, I don't know, like the music that I was making back then, it was really just about mental health and, you know, a problem, but it wasn't a solution. So when I found God, I found the solution. And he just put in my heart the need to talk about it.
Right. So, as you say mental health and talk about mental health, a lot of men in general don't feel comfortable with talking about their mental health. So, like, what's something that you would have to say to them, being someone that's not afraid to be like vulnerable with like the audience or anyone that's like watching you out there?
I mean, for real, just find somebody to talk to. If nobody like is there, find somebody, and you know, make sure you're always getting positive, you know, positive input in your life. Like you don't always need people that are going to clubs and doing this and that. Like find people that are actually having a positive outlook and a positive mindset to them, because you could grow off them, feed off them. Energy will be a little different. Like it really is just a matter of who you have around you.
So would you say that you have like a good group of people around you in like your journey right now?
Oh, facts. Yeah, of course. Like I don't know. Everybody around me is like is genuine. Like I ain't gotta try too hard. There's not much I need to do. Like truthfully, I'm a bit antisocial, but they'll come talk to me and make it a little easier. So yeah, out here is dope. Like I don't really like talking about my feelings, but the support group that I have now, they'll make me. Like they'll take me out my box, make me talk about what I'm feeling and go through it.
And that's definitely important too. Do you have like any big lessons that you're currently like learning right now that you're either struggling or that you just kind of like want to give a testimony to that you like got that you got through?
Man, there's always gonna be trials, but instead of praying for God to remove the trials, pray for Him to give you the feet to walk the path that you're meant to walk on. Because at the end of the day, you're always gonna be going through something. Whether it be mental issues, whether it be a breakup, whether it be family issues. There's a lot of things people go through that we may not know about, but I mean, just trust them. Like really plant yourself, like ground yourself, and understand that you're not in control, like He is. Like this is His plan. We're just made to be used for Him.
Definitely. And because I always try to make it as comfortable as possible because I'm an artist as well at the end of the day and I have a growing relationship with God. So what's it like? Just or tell me a little bit of like what your journey looked like, you in the beginning and just how you started off to like where you are now.
In the beginning, I ain't trust Him. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like in Virginia, I was not living anywhere like I'm living now. Like I was doing some dumb stuff, and just being scared of, my future just because I'm trying to make the plan. And it was like, I don't know, there was something pulling me to Him to a point where I couldn't deny it anymore. And, like the people He was bringing around me, it kind of felt like, this is your last chance. Like, you either gonna do something or I'm taking away something, right? And it took my brother passing for me to, actually focus and be like, you know what, I gotta chill on what I'm doing because I see how it's affecting others and I see what other people are doing now, and I'm just, I gotta get away. So when God moved me, it was nothing I could do but trust. Like a boy living in Virginia since he was like 7, but still, like riding around DC, Maryland, just DMV was home.
Yeah.
But now out here, it requires like trust because I don't know what I'm doing, truthfully. But every door that He's opening, all I gotta do is walk through, So just keep that faith for real.
So I guess my question would be because I haven't had any like great losses or anything in my life, so I wouldn't even be able to attest to that. But for people that kind of like, jump to blaming God or just jump to kind of like that negative, what kind of brought you to trust and have faith rather than to go down that spiral?
Well, I mean, if we're being real, my brother died off suicide, and he wasn't my real brother, but he was someone that was like really close to me. Like when I was homeless for a little bit, I would go to his crib. His dad would, like help me out with some stuff. Like he was trying to teach me credit when I was young. So yeah, like he was just a big role model to me. So he was my brother, and losing him, man, it was wild because he died by suicide, and which is why mental health is so important to me because it's like I've tried, I've tried to take my life before, and I know how it is. Like I know how it is to get to that point. But if you're not trusting in anything, like you're always gonna look at the negatives. You're never gonna be able to see how you're truly blessed.
Definitely.
So it gets real.
Especially, I feel like women, they have like more of an opportunity to like be vulnerable, but not too many people like checking on their guy friends or just like their male roles in their lives. And men mental health is very important. Like I feel like
Facts.
just being a black man in general, just a man moving forward, like you have a lot of weight on your shoulders where you have to like move and maneuver a specific way. So I'm not a man, I'm a woman. So can you like attest on just like the male part of that?
The male part of that is hard because like trying to remain the strong one in situations where you feel like you have no strength, it gets like heavy. It feels like there's a lot of weight, and if you don't have that support group, that weight's gonna get to you at some point. And it's a shame that people feel like they can't talk. Like men especially. Like it's a shame we feel like we have to be so bottled up to be a man. Like that ain't the case. Like I call my brother almost every day, trying to make sure he good. My real brother. Like everybody, all the men in my life, like I talk to on a daily at least, trying to make sure they're good. And if I don't hit them up right away, they always know they can hit me whenever. So I don't know. I feel like just men in general need to make it like a point to not only check on your friends but check on yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, just on a more positive note of things, what's some things that bring you joy outside of music, or that kind of like bring you back to that peace or one?
Basketball. I'm not gonna lie. I love basketball. Like what? I just went hoop. like yeah. So I just dropped off my friend. We just went a hoop. So basketball is something like if I'm going through something and I can't write about it, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to hoop for a couple hours and just forget about it.
Most definitely. So, when you are having those writing blocks and stuff, how do you like get through those? Do you kind of like wait for the moment to pass? Do you kind of like push yourself to kind of like get through those moments, or how does that look for you?
Well, I mean, writing blocks. Truthfully, when I get them, I can't tell how long it's gonna last. Like it could be a month, it could be two. Right now, it's been. When's the last time I wrote something? Well, I just wrote something actually. So before I wrote the last song that I wrote, which was last week, it was like a good 2 months before like I actually sat down to write a song. So I don't know. Like I just kind of wait. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to force nothing. So that's the only thing that I hate, trying to force something when you're not feeling it.
Most definitely. I feel the same exact way because, like, when I feel like I'm writing music, God be speaking to me and, like, really be putting them words on that paper. So I'm like, all
Facts.
right, when you want to say what you got to say,
Go
I'll
ahead.
be
Like,
ready.
go ahead, big dog. Like,
Yeah, because it literally
exactly.
pours out. So definitely love that. So with you kind of, like, growing as an artist, because you've been definitely doing some big things, been seeing some really good stream numbers, been seeing you more around the scene. Your performances are getting stronger. When you kind of reach that level of success, how do you foresee yourself pulling yourself back to kind of like not be prideful or kind of like not let the fame get to your head?
Good question. For real. I mean, that just depends who's with me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I had to cut a lot of people off just to not get my head boosted so much. It's hard. Like getting all the applause and all the rewards, and you see your streams getting that high. I can admit, it could go to some people's head, but if you're not humble about it, it could be taken away just like that.
Most definitely.
So I make sure I keep a solid group of people around me to tell me like, hey, this is cool, but there's more. Like you ain't done yet. You ain't celebrating this yet. Let's go on. Like my dad is a big person who like brings my head down a lot. Like he'll pop a bubble quick. Like he don't care.
That's good. So do you feel like you have good discernment as well as far as like picking and choosing what people to stay away from, or kind of like pull yourself away if you do see those type of people around you?
I feel like my relationship with God is strong enough to where I can kind of tell when someone's not living according to His word, and even not saying anything like, "Oh, if you sin, you're bad." Like not at all, because everybody sins. I get it, but it's like if you're not even having the same faith, then it's like, how can I keep you around? Because when I fall of faith and I need someone to pick me up, you won't be there.
Right.
So it's like just knowing someone in faith will always be there to like lift you up when you're lacking. So that's how I base my friendships off. Who can pick me
Wow.
up when I'm lacking.
I never even thought of it like that because, like, even in relationships too, that can kind of go on the same thing. So you would say that you couldn't be with somebody who doesn't believe in God or has a relationship.
Facts. That's
Yeah,
facts. I can't. If we're not equally yoked, it's just not gonna make sense.
yeah,
There will be no peace in the crib.
definitely. So on another positive note, what's some exciting things that you got coming up that you just kind of want to announce?
I mean, EP in October, November time frame, and then album in December. Till then, I'm ducked off, so y'all gonna have to catch me somewhere.
And what do these albums mean to you, or these projects? What do they mean to you, and how are they going to be different from your previous projects?
The album means a lot, actually. So the album, I'm kind of talking about how I was living before, and I'm going to. It's like a story of like when I got saved, and it just kind of plays out just amazingly. I don't know, just listening to it over and over is great. Like I love this joint so far. But the EP, it's just some bars. Y'all gonna like it. It's heavy hitters. We gonna see what's up.
And do you often try like different sounds, different styles and stuff like that, or are we going to be seeing anything a little bit different?
hmm Y'all gonna see what's up. Y'all gonna see what's up. Yeah.
You saying wait and see pretty
Yeah.
much. Okay, I love to see it. Is there anything else that you want to leave off with the audience, kind of like a farewell or just something that you want to leave them with?
If nobody ain't tell y'all, I love y'all. Be safe. God bless. That's all I got.
Thank you so much for coming on. We are out.